Thursday now, right? Or is it Wednesday? What day of the week is it? I don't even know if it's Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I don't know what day it is. Either way, it's December 5th. I got that much. I know that much. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. And we are still backwards on YouTube. Yay, I was hoping they'd fixed it, but I'm trying to watch at the same time to see if it's backwards, and sure as shit, YouTube doing YouTube things. We are still backwards. Thank you for being here today. I had a dentist appointment this morning, so my mouth hurts just a little bit. We're gonna jump into a whole bunch of stuff, but if every once in a while I like lick my lips more, it's because everything's kind of dry right now from being in the dental chair for about an hour and a half. That's just the start. It's going to get real gnarly for the next month. I've got like 3 more appointments to go in, so yay on that. But let's go over the breaking news, if you would like. So the breaking news here being the pictures that have come out of the shooter. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. The shooter of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, yesterday in New York City, outside of the Hilton Hotel. I think they said it was in Manhattan, maybe. They have released a lot of information in the last few hours, or the last couple hours, right? We saw it yesterday when it first happened. It was a picture from outside, then a video came out of the person doing the shooting, then more information came out, then some guy on City something, the little scooter things that are around the area, came out and said that he could pinpoint exactly where the shooter went because the scooter and all this other stuff. A lot of information yesterday, right? Well, now y'all, let's see if we can start at the beginning. So instead of the pictures, now they're saying that the shells had words like etched into them. This whole thing is crazy to me. So you have this United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, gunned down, murdered on the sidewalk in front of his hotel yesterday morning. And it is the same man who, side note, his company was based out of Minnesota. So there's him with good old fruitcake walls there, in case anybody's curious. And that's the wife, and then that's their kid, I guess. So that's why they have the image blurred. But that is the man that was gunned down yesterday in New York City. And that is dipshit Tim Walz of Minnesota, governor. Can't stand him. But anyway, so we have all the information that's been coming out, and I'm trying to keep up with everything. Here was the video I showed you guys yesterday of the ambulance, the people that take care of everybody. My brain is so fried today. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's the video of them trying to resuscitate the man. Did not work. That didn't happen. But then they came out and said that there was the casings they picked up today from the bullets, or last night from the bullets, had words inscribed on them. They're saying that it had, what are the words? Denied something. Hold on, y'all. It's not saved in X. It's all over the place here. So I've got stuff in Facebook Messenger. I have things I've emailed to myself. So I'm trying to keep up with everything here, and trying to put it all together at once is almost impossible. Let's see. Photos showing the man. That's not who we want. We're going to get to the photos in a second. Side note, the photos of the person that they are saying did the shooting. They're very, very suspicious, just so you guys are fully aware. But this is not the link that I want. The link that I want is the one about the bullets. So the bullets, the casings, they said had these 3 words: deny, defend, and depose, I think are the words that are on there. I've got it pulling up here right now. It's just taking forever. This is ABC News that has this, that came out this morning. It's just taking its time. There we go. So here we go. According to this, just in, NYPD detectives discovered the words deny, defend, and depose written on shell casings found at the scene where Brian Thompson was killed. Now, according to everything that I read, there's some book that had come out about, let's see if it says what the book is. Deny, defend, depose were discovered by detectives on the shell casings found at the scene. The masked gunman, that's where we're going to go like this. gunman, because I'm not convinced at this point, remains on the loose, carried out a brazen targeted attack that was premeditated. This is according to Jessica Tisch, who is the NYPD commissioner there. But the news conference, what's crazy, y'all, is the news conference, they have had very conflicting information just in the news conference itself, right? So first off, the wife came out within like an hour or two of her husband being brutally murdered and was talking about how he had been getting threats, but she wasn't sure what the threats were. She just knew there were threats, but didn't have like any actual information on the threats, which is already interesting to me that she was able to give this coherent statement right after her husband is murdered. I'm thinking if anything happened to my husband, good luck trying to talk to me for weeks. I'm going to be the most incoherent, babbling, blubbering mess out there. And this one was like, oh yeah, well, so kind of expected it because he's been getting threats and blah, 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 right? So let's just go into everything. So then they're saying that the casings had words written on them. So now it's like, okay, was this because of the money laundering? Was this because of all the money that Brian Thompson and other executives and whoever at United Healthcare were siphoning out of the company through stocks and everything else, and their inflated evaluation of the company? I think that's the right phrasing of it. Or is this because maybe somebody got denied coverage? Maybe somebody close to somebody died because of lack of coverage, or because, maybe they had to pay so much out of pocket for their health care that maybe they lost everything. We have no clue what's going on here. But if you saw the video, which I can't show on YouTube, of the actual shooting, they will not allow that at all. It is over on X. My husband has posted it up. A lot of people have posted it. If you look at the shooting, it is a man who's holding it comes out, it's a 22. It looks like a 22, according to some other podcasts that I've seen of people who are very knowledgeable on guns, right? They're saying it looks like a 22 with a silencer on it. And it looked like, this is where it gets confusing, because according to this, there are a lot of people saying this person is a professional, and there's others saying that this person is brand new at shooting, has never shot a gun or whatever else, because it looked like the gun kept jamming. Another person was saying the gun wasn't jamming. He was trying to catch the casings as they were released out of the chamber, which obviously can't be the case if they're finding the casings on the ground and they have words written on them. I'm not sure everything there, but it did look like the gun kept jamming and like this person was having issues with it. But here's what's crazy. So this is from the surveillance footage on the sidewalk itself, right? The backpack looks like it's a cream color. The sneakers look black and white. The pants look black. The jacket looks black, correct? That's what you see, because that's what I see from the photos that they took from the crime scene itself, okay? So then they start talking about how they have pictures of this gunman inside of Starbucks ahead of time. Okay. So this is the picture they're saying is inside Starbucks at this person before he decided to go on his, murderous rampage of one person. I don't know if it's a rampage, if it's just one person, but before he started to go on his killing spree, he decided to stop and get coffee first, because you don't want to murder somebody on an empty stomach and without enough caffeine in your system, obviously. So this is the picture that they got from inside Starbucks. Again, looks just like the picture on the sidewalk of the person shooting the gun, holding the gun, looks just like the video. So again, black jacket and a kind of cream color, gray color, whatever backpack, and then a face mask covering almost everything up to the nose, but not the whole nose. All right. Right there. That's what they have. Okay. But wait, because then they tried to say that they have pictures of this same person inside the hotel that they were staying in. According to this is, they said was inside the hotel. I want you to see this. Let's see if I can zoom into one so I can show you one and then show you the other. So this is what they're saying is inside the hotel. Okay, you can see the floor is different than the one in the Starbucks or the coffee joint. And the jacket still looks the same. The jacket still looks black, right? Kind of. But the backpack is also black. The backpack is no longer gray. All right. And they're saying that this is the person who did the shooting, that this is the same person from that Starbucks picture and from the video out on the sidewalk in front of the Hilton. That backpack is a completely different color. Now, what's even more interesting to me is that if you go here, it looks like the same picture. It's supposed to look like the same person. All right. But they have lightened the picture. I don't know what they've done here, but they're saying this is the same person. Please notice the floor, if I can get this to scroll up, is a different color. All right. I don't know if they've altered it, if it's whatever. They're trying to say it's the same person. The floor is a different color, although it is the same floor. The jacket is a different color. The pockets kind of sort of line up, but not really. The hood kind of like the same, and the face covering kind of the same, right? But try and tell me that's not a woman. Tell me that is not a woman in that picture there. That is the most feminine face. And there are obviously some dudes who are feminine looking, and there's some women who are masculine looking. I'm considered a masculine looking woman. I've got broad shoulders, and since I've put on weight, I'm a little more masculine looking than feminine. It is what it is. But if I saw this person walking down the street from that profile especially, I would be like, ma'am, she's pretty. That is a woman, right? And I do not think that that is the same as that person. They're trying to say that maybe this is also a woman wearing like fake facial whatever. I don't think these are the same people, number one. I think they are two completely different people who happen to have on the same type of jacket, but I fully believe that that is a woman. And now they're trying to say that the shooter was at this hotel with two accomplices, two other people. So 3 people total. So which one is the decoy? Are these two decoys, right? Because this one that looks like a woman looks like a decoy. This one that looks kind of sort of like the woman, right, could also be a decoy because the backpack is different compared to, how do I get out of here? Compared to this person here, who even just the eyes and the nose to me do not look the same as the other two. And the backpack is different and the jacket is different. This is the shooter. I don't know who those other two are that they're trying to show us, that they're saying, oh, we have face pictures now. Now we know who we're looking for. I don't think either of those pictures are the actual shooter. Again, this is based off blurry images that are being circulated across the internet from the actual NYPD, though. All these pictures came from the NYPD. These are not things that people just found and decided to throw up. These are all from the NYPD, and they're trying to say it's all the same person. Now, I know there are some cops out there who aren't very good at their job, but you got to be real crappy at your job to sit there and try to say that those 3 pictures are the same person wearing the same outfit. Very obvious that it is not the same and that the outfits are different. Now, the backpack could have been a completely different change of clothes, but all 3 of these pictures are supposed to be prior, like before the shooting, right? If that is the case, the jacket should be the same. The backpack should be the same. I don't think this person thought to themselves, well, let's leave the hotel with a black backpack and a kind of sort of black jacket. Then before you get to Starbucks, make sure you swap out the backpack for a different backpack and swap out the jacket. But make sure you also go back to the hotel wearing a jacket that's kind of the same but a different color and no backpack, and go stand at the same place and be on the same camera. It doesn't make sense. So there's a lot being covered up right now because yesterday Brian Thompson was on his way to speak at I don't know if the word conference is correct, but he was on his way to speak at an investor meeting. There we go. He was on his way to speak at an investor meeting, and either he was going to say something that other people did not want investors to know, or this is something that has nothing to do with the healthcare business whatsoever, and his wife just wanted him gone. There are so many different things this could be, but there has been talk or speculation that there was supposed to be some sort of merger between United Healthcare and another company that I cannot think of right now. I read it and I didn't save it because I'm a dumbass sometimes. That there was supposed to be a merger, and whatever he was going to say yesterday could have been the make or break of this merger. Now, depending on who wanted the make or who wanted the break, that could have been a reason to take him out before he could get up there and speak, right? So there's that. Y'all, so let me just off topic here. My teeth, I told you I have not been to the dentist in forever. Literally, I'm 42 and I have not been since right after high school because dentists terrify me. So you can imagine the amount of buildup, like plaque stuff or whatever it is that was in my mouth that they spent an hour scraping away today. I can feel the back of the bottom of my teeth. My tongue keeps hitting the back of the bottom of my front teeth, and it feels so weird because it's not at all like it used to feel. It's just very awkward for me right now. So again, I'm not trying to make faces and mess with my mouth, but it is very awkward. I'm not bleeding anymore. So you can see how red that is. Look at that. Look at that. There was so much stuff going on. Yeah. I know I'm not the only one who's terrified of the dentist and probably has a mouth that's all jacked up, and now it's going to cost me a pretty penny to get it fixed. But anyway, so that's what we've got going on with the whatever we want to call it, the Brian Thompson killer. So yeah, because even here in this post, they're even pointing out the fact that even if it's different lighting and they've done whatever, it is not the same build. The build, when you look at it side by side, the build is not the same of those two people. The shape of the face, even though one of them has the mask down a little bit farther and the other one up a little bit more, it's still different. And I don't think it's the same person. One is a man and one is a woman, and neither of them are the shooter, which is the person down here with the gray backpack and the black jacket. So I'm very curious to see where this goes, how far it goes, what other information they have coming out. Because even Candace Owens, you know, she posted it up and somebody was like, it looks like a decoy, like the jackets don't match. And she says, good point. I just shared what the police shared, but they certainly could have made a mistake. The police make a mistake? No, never. Of course not. Somebody just said one reporter stated he was shot in the back, or the other reporter stated he was shot in the chest. When everything first happened, the conflicting information that was coming out was ridiculous. They were like, he was shot in the chest. It was the chest that killed him. Somebody, and then it was the back. It was his calf. It was his leg. It was all these different things. Well, you watch the video, right? You can see the video that in the video, the guy walks up behind him, pulls out the gun. Number one, the way he was standing with this weapon made me think he's never shot a gun in his life before, because he's just straight out here like this. There was none of this, right? And aim, which this is like some movie crap, right? Where you just put your hands together and blah, 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 or this shit here, this ghetto crap. But I mean, if you really are a shooter, you guys know you have to aim. But either way, the shooting occurred from the back. The man, Brian Thompson, never turned around. He got shot in the back left leg, the calf. You saw that first. And he stumbled. Then he got shot in the back. His body never seemed to flip and get shot from the front. He fell, and it looked like the guy was still shooting him, but it looked like the Brian Thompson was hunched over. I don't think anything would have been able to go through the front of him unless, y'all, and this is the crazy part, unless there was a second shooter on the other side. But that person would have had to have been like super sniper to be able to shoot him directly in the chest and miss everything else around him. And I feel like that would be too much, right? But the person that shot him, according to the podcast I've seen, it was a 22 and it had a silencer on it. And that's why the people in the vehicles that were right next to, like you could see in the video, both SUVs right here had their lights on. There were clearly people in the vehicles, but because of the silencer on the 22 and because it's the city streets of New York, it's very loud, I'm guessing, and the gun was very quiet, so they didn't notice it. They probably just saw some guy stumble and fall and didn't think anything of it. And next thing you know, you have a dead body, two potential witnesses, and some dude just walking across the street, hopping on a bike and pedaling his happy ass off. So just very interesting, everything that's going on with that right now. Outside of that, there's other stuff going on. Y'all, you've heard of Haktua, right? The things that become popular in our country or the world is just ridiculous to me. This chick here, let me just show you her picture. She became popular because somebody on a street somewhere was interviewing people and asked her something, and she talked about spitting on, the manly parts on a penis. She goes, you go to it, like that's it. And then she did some hand motions and whatever else. And that shit went completely viral. And suddenly this chick is now just so incredibly popular. And I'm like, but she didn't even do anything. She gave you a reenactment of what she would do. There was no actual penis involved. There was no actual spit involved. She just told you what she's going to do. And she's this famous now. Like there's not even physical proof that she does any of those things. Like it's absolutely crazy to me. So she got really famous. Haktua became this whole hashtag, and people are making hats and t-shirts and whatever else. And she has her own podcast now. And she was going to places like Comic-Con style stuff and autographing things for people, like getting paid to give her signature. And I'm like, but what has she done? What has she done? Even this new chick, the one who's made like $43 million on OnlyFans, what's her name? Sophie Rain. which I have a whole theory about that. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. If you haven't seen her, Sophie, I think her name is Sophie Rain. I'm pretty sure she's the chick who is making like the anime faces and like bouncing around, and that's how she got famous on TikTok. But the reason she's making $43 million on OnlyFans, which is more than NBA players are making, side note, is because she looks like a 14-year-old with boobs. So all I can see when I see her picture, because it's plastered all over social media right now, I see her and I'm like, so you're telling me, and nobody's really thinking about it this way, but it's the first thing I see, she looks like a pedophile wet dream. Like that's what she looks like. She looks like she's barely legal enough to drive a car. She's got some boobs. She tells everybody she's a virgin and she just takes pictures all by herself, and she made $43 million. And I'm like, it's not 19-year-olds getting on there and paying this girl for stuff. It's not even 21-year-olds. It's old ass, dirty ass, gross ass men who are jumping on the internet for 18-year-old looking girls and paying for it. Ew, ew, ew. That is all. Anyway, enough of that. So back to Haktua girl. So she decided that she was going to make this meme coin. I'm not even going to pretend I understand an iota of meme coins, of Bitcoin, of whatever all the other coins are. I have no clue how it works. I have no clue how it works. My husband, he understands it. To me, it is literal brain surgery. I am not a dumb female or a dumb person in general, but I feel dumb as shit when it comes to this kind of stuff because I do not understand it. And I don't want to invest the time to really, truly understand it. So we're going to go at this from a different angle. We're not going to go at this from a meme coin and Bitcoin and how much things cost and whatever. We're going to go at this from the angle of the fact that this girl decided to make a meme coin and people bought it. It went in under 10 minutes. It went from being worth $100,000 or something stupid like that to being worth $2,000. I don't understand the stupidity of people. Look at this. Look at this. This person posted this. I don't know why they would post this. I don't know why they would let people know they're this stupid. It says, the girl's name is Haley Welch. It says, hi, Haley Welch. My $35,000 that I purchased of Hawk, which is like the name of it. It's like the dollar sign in the word hawk. And yes, it's backwards and I'm sorry, but it's whatever that crap is right there. They said I spent $35,000 and purchased it, and it's now worth $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. So in 10 minutes, it went from $35,000 down to $2,000, okay? This person goes, I am a huge fan of Haktua, but you took my life savings. Why are you a huge fan? Why? Why are you a huge fan? Nobody can say. I don't understand. It makes absolutely no effing sense to me. It says, I purchased your coin that you were so excited about with my life savings and children's college education fund as well. Well, sir, you sound dumb as shit. Like, you didn't mention that you were going to buy 97% of the supply and sell it almost immediately to make a large profit. If I would have known that information, I would not have purchased your coin. Please help me, or who can I contact for a refund? If not, I'll be forced to use legal action. Here's the thing. If you put money into something like that, let's think of stocks in general, generally speaking stocks. You think of these meme coins, you think of anything that you're investing your money in that they tell you, I mean, you have to know up front that this is a gamble, that this is some sort of scheme, because hello, again, not the brightest bulb in the batch, but even I know that is absolutely stupid. And then to think that once it doesn't go your way, you're going to get a refund. What? That's like saying, look, I paid my electricity bill all month long, but at the end of the month, I don't feel like I was ever really warm enough while using my electricity, so I'd like a refund. What? Like, what? That's not how this works. And that's exactly how stupid this person sounds to me. The fact that this man is like, well, I used my life savings and kids' college fund because I'm such a big fan of some chick who air mimes spitting on a dick and twisting her hands around it. Like, are you serious? This is, what is that called? What is that called? I couldn't remember this last time either, but what's it called? Oh, come on. Where like the dumb die off. What's it called? Oh, come on, brain. Y'all help me because I cannot think of this at all. It is selective, whatever. Come on. Y'all, I hate it when natural selection. Freaking love you. Thank you. Natural selection. It is natural selection. This person is destined to be just broke and stupid, because if you're going to tell me that somehow you were able to save $35,000, one, like, hey, yes, great, you were able to save $35,000. It mentally makes you think that you have to be some sort of smart. And then you go, but I took that $35,000 and bought a meme coin because some 19-year-old looking chick air spit on a fake penis and I became a fan, so I wanted to invest in her. What is happening? What is going on? Like, here I am worried about the economy and the cost of eggs and gas and mortgages and insurance. And here this guy is throwing away 35 grand on a meme coin. I got nothing. And this is going to be the same person who's going to bitch and moan about the economy, or he's not getting enough work, or, you know, he can't afford to pay for something, yet was fine pulling his life savings out to spend it on some 15 minutes of fame, skeezy chick. I don't understand. Okay, let's comparison. Let's comparison real quick. Channing Tatum, way off topic. Channing Tatum, Magic Mike. When he humped that stage in Magic Mike, I was like, I'll give you anything you want. That shit's hot. Like, whatever. Told my husband, I said, you got to learn how to hump a stage like that. I don't know how he does it, but I'm going to need you to, you know, whatever that little worm thing is, do it, right? If Channing Tatum, right after watching him do that little thing on the stage in Magic Mike, if he'd been like, hey, ladies, I've got a meme coin I'm selling for you, I would have been like, do you, boo? I'm just going to watch you hump the stage. I'm not going to spend my money on that. Like, who does that? Anyway, doesn't make any sense to me. Absolutely stupid, ridiculous. That guy's out 35 grand, and lesson learned. So many people are out of money right now. Again, the graph started down here, it shot up to there, and within 10 minutes, it said pfft, and plummeted. And now people want her to go to jail. He spent 35,000. Nope. It's fine. It's fine. Natural selection. I'm going to remember that. Natural selection, because you're obviously stupid. Obviously stupid. Oh, okay. So we're going to do this real fast. So, Joe Biden, not a fan, haven't been a fan since he was, you know, in regular ass politics before he ever became a vice president or whatever else. I've always thought he was absolute trash. He's horrible. Black people like him. And I'm like, why? He's awful for the black community. But let's just listen to this real quick while watching a video of his son. Well, let me actually not make that a big screen, because then YouTube will realize what's going on and they will take it down. All right, listen.
You have a piece of crack cocaine, no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail.
Look, that's all we really need to hear. I mean, that is Joe Biden, and that is his crackhead son right next to him, split screen, right? Joe Biden authored the 1994 crime bill, which imprisoned millions of Americans for doing what his son is doing in this video. The report on the Biden laptop details 459 crimes involving the Biden family and their associates. Rules for thee, but not for me, which is what we talked about. So everybody else, all the other men and women that had any sort on them got sent to jail for 5 years, but because this is his son, he gets pardoned for doing the exact same thing that he sent thousands of other people to jail for. Absolutely ridiculous. At this point in time, if he's going to pardon him, he needs to go back and pardon every single person that went to jail for having crack cocaine. Right? That's how I feel about it. If you're going to pardon him, you must now go back and pardon every single person that went to jail because of your 1994 crime bill. Since 1994 and on, they should all be released, and everything that was on their record that had anything to do with the crack cocaine should be expunged from it and let it go. Because you cannot say that your son is worth pardoning, but all these other people aren't. If your son is not subject to the same rules, laws, and regulations that the rest of us are, then the rest of us should also not be subject to those rules, laws, and regulations. Correct? Correct. So That's how I feel about that. Now, the other part to that is, if I can find it real quick here. Nope, that's the next deadly disease that's coming our way. We'll get to that in just a second because that looks fun. Oh, this is off topic, but I just want to remind you of what Joe Biden had to say. Remember when I said that he does not like black individuals?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
That's all. Poor kids are just as bright and talented as white kids. He feels that anybody who's not white is probably poor. There's a lot of poor white people out there too. So good old Joe. The other part I wanted to mention along the lines of the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden thing, if I can get to the bookmark here, because again, I've saved way too many stuff. So this one is saying that Politico reports that the White House may pardon Dr. Anthony Fauci to protect him from future federal investigation and prosecution. This would be a good way to destroy confidence in public health for a generation. Mentioned Biden's aides for a pardon is Anthony Fauci, the former head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, who became a lightning rod for criticism from the right, accurately, during the C-19 pandemic. They said pandemic, they forgot the L, plandemic. Plandemic is how they really should have phrased that and did not, because that shit was planned from day one. Let's see, where's the rest of that part? Nope, we already looked at Tim Walz's ugly face. Don't want to see that shit again. The men pretending to be women. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, we're going to get into that. We looked at this. Hold on, I'm just working my way through all these things so I can make sure I bring you all the information. Because there's a lot. Barron Trump, Donald. Oh, this is according to Tara Bull. She posted this on X. Biden White House is reportedly considering preemptive pardons for Adam Schiff. We talked about him a couple days ago. Liz Cheney and Anthony Fauci. And they're saying, why would he do that? Preemptive pardons. Because he knows that once Donald Trump is in office, Donald Trump is going to do what needs to be done. And now they want to save their little besties, all right? They want to save everybody that screwed us over the last 4 years, being, Fauci and Liz Cheney right now with her kissing of Kamala Harris's ass over the last couple of months was absolutely awful. And then same thing with Adam Schiff. He's been absolutely awful. So there could be a lot more pardons coming. So we need to pay attention to what good old Joe is doing. Obviously not while he's napping in Africa, because that's what he's doing right now, is sitting at tables and napping. But we need to pay attention. I want you guys to hear this side note. Everybody is losing their mind over the fact that we get to hear Barron Trump's voice for the very first time. This is when Donald Trump, I believe, is talking to UFC President Dana White and asking about getting Barron into the UFC. I want you to hear this. See if you guys can hear it.
Nice to see you. I gave him a shot.
That was it. Hold on.
Very nice. Good to see you. You too, buddy. No.
Try again. Hold on.
Very nice to see you. Very nice. I gave him a shot.
He's hard to hear, but I feel like we've seen Barron Trump so many times, but he's normally like in the background and we don't ever hear him. And so this video is going around all over social media because you can finally hear his voice. So there's that. Hold on for me 1 second while I look something up. Yeah. So right now there is a tsunami warning on the West Coast because a 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit off Northern California coast. This came out about 30 minutes ago. I saw something there and I was trying to find it. Let's see, Ferndale, California. Let's see what this says. We're interrupting our scheduled program anyway, I always have a bunch of stuff. But it's 7.0 magnitude earthquake reported in Northern California. Tsunami warning in effect. I just said a couple days ago that California is going to end up in the ocean, maybe because Gavin Newsom and I don't know, retribution for Gavin Newsom, and that's where it belongs, but I don't want people getting hurt, right? But according to this, the tsunami warning will go until Sunday. So you have the next 3 days to be terrified if there's going to be a tsunami or not. It looks like it's all across, it's kind of hard to see, but San Fran and up there is where they're saying the tsunami warning is. And again, I know this is backwards, I apologize, but That is the California coast. And they're saying the tsunami warning in effect after a 7.0 earthquake hit off the coast of Northern California. It was reported on Thursday, today. So today's Thursday. The epicenter is near Petrolia in Humboldt County. This is according to the United States Coast Guard. And a tsunami warning has been issued for coastal areas in California and Oregon, including San Francisco. The warning will remain in effect from Davenport, California to Douglas/Lane Line, Oregon. Until further notice, the National Tsunami Warning Center has said the earthquake was reported at 10:44 a.m. local time. So that is, if it's 1:47 now in Central, it's 12:47, 11:47. So a little over an hour ago it happened. Says subsequent earthquakes were reported in the region, including a 4.2 magnitude earthquake near Petrolia. California Governor Gavin Newsom said officials with the state's Office of Emergency Services are actively responding to the earthquakes this morning in Northern California. Californians should follow guidance from local emergency responders. So that'll be something to keep an eye on also. So thank you guys for mentioning it. Again, I can't see everything that's happening in the live chat, but every once in a while something pops up and I can see it. So thank you guys for mentioning it so I could continually mentioning it so I could find it and bring it to you. I'm trying to see if any of this video here on ABC News really shows anything. I don't know what kind of destruction there may be from the 7.0 earthquake, since it was off the coast. It wasn't on, like, underneath the land itself. I don't see anything right now, so we'll just keep checking back. Let's pause this. Let's see. Is this a pausable thing? There's no pause. No, because this is live. Okay, so I can't really pause that. It's not really showing me. Okay, so there's a little bit of like destruction inside a restaurant, it looks like, but they're not really showing much right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. You guys keep an eye on that, and we'll get back to that at some point with what's going on there. So where were we over here? Hold on. My husband's actually at the dentist now. My daughter went first, then I went. Now my husband's there, so I'm just keeping an eye on him to see when he comes back. I wanted to go a specific direction on this next one with y'all. Oh, so earlier when I was talking about the shell casings and Brian Thompson, Shadow of Ezra over on X actually posted this. It said the shell casings found at the scene of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's shooting were inscribed with the words deny, defend, depose, right? These words are similar, this is what I was looking for, to the title of the book, Delay, Deny, Defend, which examines strategies used by insurance companies to avoid paying for claims. 1, delaying the process to frustrate the claimants. 2, denying coverage by citing policy terms. 3, defending against claims in court to avoid payouts. These strategies are used by almost all insurance companies to increase profit. So this is what I was looking for, the book. I knew I had it somewhere here. They're saying those 3, the shell casings with the words inscribed on them, are supposed to go towards this book. So it does feel very personal. And again, I don't know if it's going to be personal on the side of the money or personal on the side of somebody lost their life or lost everything because of this insurance company. And this is a very personal hit from somebody who was affected by it. Again, we're going to have to wait and see how that goes, because there's a lot of information that will continue coming out, but we've already seen a lot of it may be false. Again, there's 3 pictures they showed, 3 completely different people. So I'm curious to see which route they're going to go and say was the actual shooter, or if there was an accomplice or whatever else. So we've done this Hawk Tuah crap. God, I don't understand why this chick is relevant in the least, but we had to talk about it. This is that during the press conference yesterday, Off-White. Okay, during the press conference yesterday, they described the jacket 2 ways. One said it was off-white, the other said he was dressed in all black. Neither of these things was true. Based off both those pictures, neither of those things was true, but the person did seem to be dressed in all black in the video of the actual shooting. Let's see, what does this say? Hold on, let me try to read this. Use as a community, we're sharing more information amongst each other than the newsprint mainstream media. Is this a very interesting time to be alive? Chester Wolf the Griffin. Yes. So that's why I love this here in X and other social media sites, because we are able to get information out before anybody else. Like, I'm signed up to almost every single newsletter humanly possible so I can make sure to get the information as it's coming out. And I found everything on X hours before I ever got an email about anything, from whether it was the Washington Post, the New York Post, the Washington Journal, USA Today, what else? Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, they all came out after everything came out on X. X is a up to the second kind of information, and it is amazing. And it's the first place you're going to find the information. It's the first place you're going to see when information is incorrect and it's been corrected. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're not on X, I say you have to be over there. Also, obviously, stay here on YouTube for the videos, but quick up to the second information you're going to find over there. Now let's get back to where we were with this. We're done with the shooting thing. I don't have anything else for that there. It's a ton of stuff, but oh, this is a new one. Y'all, this is a new one. You guys ready for this? So we're over COVID, right? It's done. Nobody's worried about COVID anymore. And now suddenly, a new terrifying flu-like disease has killed 179 people, mostly teenagers, and health officials have no idea what it is. This came out yesterday on the New York Post. Round two, I guess. What's interesting is that there is a guy who came out and talked about the fact that once Donald Trump is in office, we should be prepared for the next wave of pandemics, the next wave of, I guess the wording wasn't this, but like a chemical warfare or a viral warfare, something along those lines. This is also the same thing. Mystery flu outbreak in Congo kills dozens. Investigation underway. So this is in Congo. This is in Africa, where Joe Biden happens to be right now. I'm not going to say that the timing and stuff is not suspicious, but okay. So they're saying now that there is some new mystery flu-like outbreak, which is also crazy. If you look back over the whole height of C-19, the flu seems to have just completely gone away, and all we had was C-19. And now that C-19 is somehow miraculously gone away, now we're back to the flu. Just very interesting how that works. This is, I have more information on this. Where is it? A terrifying new flu disease has killed 179 people, mostly teens. Health officials have no idea what it is. This is from the New York Post, and it says here that a strange new illness festering in the heart of Africa has killed 179 people and counting, and most of the victims are teenagers. The unidentified disease has infected at least 300 people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo since November 10th, causing flu-like symptoms, including fever, headaches, coughing, breathing difficulties, and anemia, that country's health ministry told the BBC. Most of the dead have been between 16 and 18. Couple things I want to point out. Yesterday, I showed you the video of Joe Biden sitting at that table, just taking a whole nap while everybody else is talking. The gentleman directly to his right was a representative from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Do you guys remember? I showed you it had his name tag, whatever, on the table there. So just like right next to Joe Biden. Interesting. And then the dead ages between 16 and 18, that's right around the time where most militaries are trying to entice people to join the military and fight for them. So it's interesting that it's military age people, young ones, that are dying from this, right? It says the government has dispatched a medical team to the Kwango province, where the disease is most common, to investigate the strange outbreak. The government has urged citizens to stay calm, but a civil society leader there told Reuters the rising number of cases is truly alarming. Let's also keep in mind that the outbreak comes just before the 5th anniversary of the first recorded case of C-19 in Wuhan, China. That actually happened. I think Tiffany Fong posted about it on X, that yesterday, I believe, was the 5-year anniversary of the very first case of C-19 recorded in Wuhan, China, right? And then now you have this happening over in Africa, which is interesting, especially because not only, again, do you have Joe Biden over there, but you also have Bill Gates doing a lot of work over in Africa as well. A lot of testing out of different vaccines, tetanus things, whatever, whatnots. Just something to keep an eye on. It says here, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is a hotbed for dangerous diseases, including Ebola and more recently Mpox. Remember, monkeypox was like this huge thing we were supposed to be terrified about, and then it just poof, be gone. Nobody talked about it anymore. They said that infected at least 14,500 people from January to July of this year. And then, again, gone. Just gone. So did it actually happen? That's always my question. Did it actually happen? Same thing with last year. We talked about it a lot here. The killings of all the chickens and the burning of all the chickens and stuff. Never did see any physical proof of any of that happening. All we saw was the price of chicken and the price of eggs skyrocket. Never actually saw any of these millions upon millions of chickens they said they had to kill because of bird flu. Never saw a single one. Never saw a single video. Never saw any farmers posting about it. Never saw any of it. There was never physical proof. Just it affecting our wallets. Just saying, a lot of stuff comes down to money. And if they say it, we will believe it. And everybody just goes about their day and they make more money and we get broker, and it is what it is, right? So there's that. So we're going to be keeping an eye on whatever crap they're trying to throw at us next, whatever new disease they want to send our way, because we're never the starting point, but somehow it always ends up here, right? Right. So that's that. Oh, here we go. This is it. This is the one I was looking for. Vaccine researcher Peter Hotez, or whatever the crap his name is, says multiple viruses will be unleashed on America the day after Trump takes office. We have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. I'm sorry, is that a fucking threat? Like, are they threatening us that they're going to release a bunch of crap on us? Again, right now they're talking about unknown whatever going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And then you have this man here saying that once Trump is in office, because obviously there's a time frame on these things, that then suddenly we're going to have a bunch of new viruses coming our way. Listen to this, man. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. This was on Bloomberg. This is on MSNBC. So, grain of salt and all that crap there. If I can get this to stop playing. All right, let's listen. You guys ready? Sure, why not?
Here's the reason why we need to care about this stuff, Nicole, is that we have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. Mr. Bloomberg mentioned H5N1. That I'm really worried about. It's all over wild birds on the western part of the United States and going up in the north. It's getting into the poultry. We're seeing sporadic human cases, no human-to-human transmission yet, but that could happen. It's in the cattle, it's in the milk. And that's just the beginning. We have another major coronavirus likely brewing in Asia. We've had SARS in 2002, SARS-2, COVID-19 in 2019. And we know these viruses are jumping from bats to people thousands of times a year. But there's still more. We know that we have a big problem with mosquito-transmitted viruses all along the Gulf Coast, where I am here in Texas. So we're expecting dengue and possibly Zika virus coming back, or a Puche virus, maybe even yellow fever. And there's more. Then we have all this sharp rise in vaccine preventable diseases going up because of, in part, the anti-vaccine activism that's so prominent right now. We have a 5-fold rise in pertussis cases, whooping cough over the last year, 15 measles outbreaks this year. We've got polio that's been in the wastewater in New York State. All that's going to come crashing down on January 21st on the Trump administration. We need a really, really good team to be able to handle this.
Again, why do we have a timeline? Why do we know that on the 21st is when all this stuff is going to happen? All these things that are going on, look, let me be the bearer of bad news. You guys ready for this? If our southern borders weren't wide ass open, we would not have issues. You and we're expected to get all these different, shots and whatnots. We're expected to be up to date on whatever else. Do you think they're checking the people that are coming over the border for their up to dateness on things? No. You know why? Because a lot of other countries don't require these things. They require different things for whatever the crap is in their countries. And we require these things for what is in our countries, right? Whether you are a pro or a non or a naysayer against it, doesn't matter, right? Here's the facts. Opinion-based facts, however you want to phrase it. The opening of our borders and the bringing in of issues that we have not had here and who knows how long is because we haven't had them here, because we've had the people who have done the vaccines and the whatever else. The transmission of everything, if you look at what's happening in the UK, you look at what's happening all over Europe right now, they also are having massive open border issues where if you are against any sort of ban or closing of borders, you're getting arrested over there. Number one, they're throwing you in jail if you speak out about it. But there's so much migration going on right now that of course there's going to be an uptick in illnesses, because I've never been to the Democratic Republic of Congo. My body has no clue how to deal with whatever they know how to deal with over there. Their bodies have built up their immune systems to whatever they have going on over there, right? Just as our bodies have built up our immune systems to whatever we would possibly have here. I know if I go to Mexico and drink the water, I'm going to shit my brains out for 3 days because I'm not used to their water. Trust me, it's happened. That's how I know. Been there, done that. Not doing that again, right? Bottled water only. But if somebody were to come here, they could have the same issue because your body is not used to all these things that you're either putting in your body, the things you're breathing, all this other crap, right? So this whole him talking about on January 21st, there's going to be all this whatever. Yeah, we may have more illnesses and diseases and stuff going around, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that one, they're manufacturing them mofos, which we know, Wuhan, they're manufacturing these things. Plus they're letting our borders be wide open and they're not stopping the movement of these things, right? Anyway, that's it. YouTube's probably going to take this video down. We're not allowed to talk about these things over here, and I do it anyway because I don't give a shit, but it's absolutely ridiculous to me that this is where we are. Let me just real quick. I want to give you guys a reminder of how incredibly stupid we were for the last couple of years. Look at this. When you had to wrap yourself in freaking saran wrap in order to hug somebody? Come on now. Anyway, that's stupid. But anyway, back to the bookmarks of the stuff that we've got going on here. So we did that. We talked about that. There's so much going on that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to remember my thumbnail now. So we did Joe Biden and his degenerate son, or degenerate Joe Biden, his degenerate son. We talked about, so Whoopi and what's his face? I call him Charlemagne the Fraud, but Charlemagne the God. So The View, crashing and burning on pretty much a daily basis. They are just absolutely awful. Nobody likes The View. The View sucks. But Charlemagne the God was on The View yesterday or today. I don't even remember what day. I think it was yesterday. And he went on The View and he sat next to Joy Behar or whatever the crap her name is. And she was talking about, Trump and all this other negative stuff. And Charlemagne the God basically pointed out that Democrats sit on this high horse, is basically what he said, that they sit on this high horse and they think that they're better than everybody else, at which point, of course, Whoopi Goldberg got her, bent out of shape all over it. And her and Charlemagne the God kind of got into a back and forth of stuff because they're talking about Biden pardoning Hunter. And Charlemagne the God was saying how, Biden talked so much about how he wasn't going to pardon him because no one's above the law, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly he pardons him. And he says, that's not cool. You Democrats, he can say you Democrats. I'm sure he's a Democrat too, because he talks crap about Trump all the time. But he's like, you Democrats sit on your high horse, your high moral horse, and you talk crap about everybody, and you basically say that you're above everybody else, and you're straight and narrow, and you would never do this, never do that. And then Joe Biden flips on it and gives his son this pardon, and he lied to the people, to which Whoopi Goldberg is like, he didn't lie. He changed his mind. As a person, he's allowed to change his mind. And Charlemagne the God was like, well, that's just ridiculous. And Whoopi's like, don't call me ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. And then they got into this little baby altercation because Whoopi Goldberg, she is just absolute trash in my opinion. She thinks that her shit don't stink, and I can guarantee you it probably stinks worse than anybody else's. But then she tells Charlemagne to give her a hug or whatever to kind of work through their little tiff that they had. And he walks over and gives her a kiss or something, which anyway. And then she calls him her new sex slave afterwards. Oh, how did she phrase this? I sent myself an article on this because I did not want to mess it up. Hold on. Because it was absolutely disgusting. Wait, wrong email. We need to go to Gmail, not Yahoo. Have way too many different things. I want to remember exactly what she called him, how she said it. Where is this? Nope, wrong one. Y'all, the amount of crap I have open up over here. Charlie Sanchez, The View, Charlemagne the God. All right, so here, look. There's the little smoocheroo between Whoopi and Charlemagne the God. Neither of them are attractive. They are both not attractive in the least. But this is what Whoopi said. She goes, I'm going to stop here for a second. only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed his mind. And then says, no, I'm going to tell you what I think. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. At some point, you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always because that's what's expected of Democrats. Y'all, about laughed my ass off reading that. Straight and narrow and Democrats. Never in the same sentence together, right? And then Charlemagne says, but that's their fault. They're the ones that go out there and stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that. You don't have to be a Democrat and try to pretend that you're morally above everybody else while also fully supporting youth gender mutilation and children at drag clubs and all kinds of, anyway. Goldberg tried to clarify and she goes, so we're mad at him because he changed his mind. And then Charlemagne, the guy, was like, I'm not mad at him for pardoning Hunter Biden. And then Goldberg is like, well, you sound like you're mad. So they're just going back and forth over this, right? And then the other one, the Alyssa Farah Griffin, she tried to jump in. And of course, Whoopi shut her down. She never lets her talk or say anything like that. And Whoopi says, can you explain to me why is it that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls? Remember that phrase that was being thrown around for the longest, the clutching of the pearls, right? And then the Alyssa Griffin chick said, nobody has criticized Donald Trump more than me and Charlemagne the God, meaning that, you know, they're not on Trump's side because that's how Whoopi was trying to make it seem like they were on Trump's side now. And Goldberg said, yeah, I've criticized him more because it's, you know, obviously a pissing contest. And she goes, but you're missing my question. The question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing with Trump? Whoopi, ma'am, all you did was flip your shit about Donald Trump every single day for months and months and months and months and years on end. So whatever. And then this is Charlemagne, Goldberg told Charlemagne that Democrats are not a monolith and shouldn't be lumped together as such. I feel like a Democrat is a Democrat is a Democrat. You're all the same. And then he says, well, why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? Because they refuse to say when a Democrat is wrong. Between Joy Behar, between Whoopi Goldberg, between Ana Navarro, the Alyssa chick, I think, is more open-minded than the rest of them. They're all morons, but she's a little bit more open-minded and will call out both sides, right? But the question is a legit question. Why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? How come they can't admit when they are wrong or somebody on their side is wrong? Sunny Hostin or whatever, she's just as bad as Whoopi. Absolutely ridiculous. But then at the end, after they're calling each other ridiculous, Goldberg was like, you know, come give me a kiss. And when they came back from break, she told the audience he's her new sex partner. Why? But why? Like, ew. Anyway, all of that is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Y'all, I've kept you here for almost an hour and I did not realize we'd been here that long. There's still like a shit ton of stuff we could talk about. So we'll save that for later because there's so much stuff. So much stuff. Okay. Let's end with this one because I think it's a great idea. According to Trump, he says, if you burn the American flag, you go to jail for 1 year. I want you guys to hear this, and then I'm going to let you go about your day because I know you have stuff you want to do. But let's just listen real quick to Mr. Donald Trump, President-elect Trump, and see what he has to say. Wait, volume.
Flag that you go to jail for 1 year. And they say it's unconstitutional, but they have to change it. You shouldn't be allowed to burn the American flag.
That's it. Because I agree with him 10,000%. You burn the American flag, there will be hell to pay. So, Squirrel Tribe, I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys immensely. Hopefully you found this either useful or informative or entertaining or whatever the crap. Doesn't matter as long as you enjoyed yourself, and I did too. I will see you guys again later, either today or tomorrow. Until then, have a fabulous rest of your day. Somebody said tsunami warning has been canceled. I hope that's true. If not, we're going to keep an eye on it. If you're in California or Oregon, also keep an eye on it for yourself. But until the next time, I love y'all. Goodbye. Adios, muchachos.